I wanted to bring you a simple transformation with this mass-produced furniture that has a lot of character but is completely outdated. I will be sharing also a product that is completely new to me, but it was a gift from a brand when I lost my workshop. Hello amazing humans, my name is Alumine and welcome back to Just Keep Sending. If you love furniture transformations that are honest, satisfying, and full of helpful tips, you're in the right place. Let's send through this. I picked up this set of nightstand the week after I was supposed to move to my new place. It was close to home, so I went. I paid $50 for it. This was the very first piece or set I did in this new home. After I moved, I realized that bringing furniture into the house to stage or to store by myself, it was going to be hard, as I have at least 4 steps in every door and a lot of grass. So I decided to become the nightstand queen. It was small pieces that won't be a problem to move. But that kingdom was short-lived due to the amount of things I found on the side of the road in my new neighborhood. So please stay tuned for all those videos coming soon. Alright, I think I talked much already. Monzalota. Alright, let's first understand how this piece is made. It is particle board everywhere, well-made particle board, but still not solid wood, except for the legs. The top was laminate, and I am not sure if this thing that was coming off was paint or someone else did it. I don't know. I did this outside because the shop was still a mess from the move and I needed to get to work. So I started with removing the back because it is always very satisfying where there are just a few screws that hold it in place. Most of the time, I forget to label the drawers and doors on modern pieces. Yeah, I know, shame on me. Oh, now that the back was open, I was able to find some treasures over there too. It's the first time I find money on a piece of furniture. I'm gonna keep it like as a good luck charm. Well, not the first time I find items to wear, but... Not even one pair? This system is very weird. It is a system that has a plastic, I already worked with this one, has a plastic back. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Has a plastic thing, I'd never know how to push it out of here. I only know how to do it, like with a screwdriver. I remember I did this with a screwdriver, like taking it out, because I don't have access from here to be able to take it out of there. I really want to take this drawer out because I want to line the drawer for sure. So I don't know how to take this out without breaking it. Like, okay, I just needed to force it out since way. Yep, came out. Can we please talk about these hinges? Like, these hinges, they are so complicated. Like, it has 6 screws, but it's like methodically placed in there. Like, they are amazing. These hinges should be for like big heavy doors. I don't get why they are on these tiny little doors, but I mean, thank you. 6 screws, was that really necessary? Well, doesn't matter. I'm almost done. Alright, finally to the cleaning part. Everything was super dirty, as you could see from the previous footage, and there was way too many grooves, so the brush was my best friend here. Sometimes I use TSP in a bucket of water or detergent, some others call that dish soap too. And be careful because this one leaves residue, so it is important to give a good rinse after. Otherwise, we're making the primers work so much harder. Remember when I said that there were some parts of the top coming off? Well, that needed to be addressed. If there wasn't any, I would have probably just scuff sanded like I did with the rest of the piece, but the top was different. So I scraped just to see, as I always do. And for me, it seemed to be latex, so I applied some chemical stripper, and I'm a little frugal with it because I don't like to waste product, but I pay the consequences because not all the finish comes off. Also, I am not a fan of this thing. I am still using it because I still have it, but there are better and safest stripper out there. Regardless, this one has 2 points in favor. One, it's easy to purchase, as it can be found in hardware stores or even big supermarkets, and it works in 15 minutes. After cleaning the stripper, I sanded the whole piece with 120 grit and finished the sides with 220. I left the top on 120 because I was going to prime and I needed adhesion. So after sanding, I left a lot of exposed MDF. So I will be sealing first, and then I'm going to fill with Bondo Glazing Putty to close those pores. But I first need to seal. It's very important to seal with Shellac first, and then I'll do the Bondo Glazing Putty, and after that I will do the bonding boss Dixie Belle. That is for adhesion. Also, it will help me see how bad did I sand or how well did I sand. I can feel some texture in here, so I know that here I didn't sand it well, but in other parts, even though it looked like I might not have sanded well, it doesn't feel like I didn't, so that's why primer is important. We're skipping repairs here because other than the glazing putty on the top and a few other spots on the doors, these cuties were great. So let's prime. For that, I used Dixie Belle Bonding Boss in gray because I was going to paint in a dark color. And I needed that great adhesion that only the Bonding Boss has. I applied on the bottom of the interior and on the top using a brush and roll technique. Before we dive straight into the color, we are putting together the Wagner spray shelter that has been with me for a few years now. We're setting it up on the grass as there is no space in the shop. Bad news for me because I think I lost the stake on the moves. Until today, I can't find them. It was very windy on and off on that day, so I was having a hard time. This orientation was the best as I didn't want direct sunlight inside my piece. So talking about Wagner. A couple of days before moving, I reached out to Wagner because I was interested in getting their only gravity-fed sprayer, the Flexio 4300, and if it's your first time here, I learned how to spray paint with an 8-gallon air compressor and an HVLP gravity-fed. It took me a few tries to get it figured out, but I finally did it and I really love it. A few months into furniture, I purchased a Flexio 3500 because I wanted to stain our fence. For various reasons, I wasn't a fan of it. This said, when I moved out of the home you've seen my other videos taking place, I was leaving my previous setup behind, with a lot of other tools that I will not get into details now. Knowing what I knew about 3500, I wanted to see about getting this one. So I reached out to Wagner after if they had more like that or if they recommended it. I like gravity fed because it saves so much paint as the paint goes down into the gun, and it is easier for tight places too. We talked a little and they ended up gifting me the Flexio 5000, which I was stoked about. My only problem was that I was going to have to relearn how to spray. If you're interested in me making a whole video about the Flexio 5000 review, let me know. I'll be happy to put one together for you. As this is a very beginner-friendly sprayer, and so many of my furniture community on Instagram have it, I asked for some advice because I do not read instructions. I don't. So right out of the bat, I will tell you one pro and one con. The con is that it has way too much overspray. This means texture. And the pro is that it's super lightweight and it makes it easy to handle. All right, now let's get to the color. I chose this bluish black I had for a very long time. I found for $9 on the Oops section at Home Depot and it retails for $50. And unfortunately, this is the last project of it. I have done so many pieces with this. One of my most recent one is a set of Nightstand that I'll link in the description for you to watch next. This is a cabinet enamel paint that does not require top coat, and I love those. As always, I strained the paint with my reusable strainer, and I did a few spraying tests before hitting the piece. I started by flipping the piece upside down and taking care of those legs as there was no other way. And I also tried covering as much as I could in this position so I could save time. That includes the inside. If you made it this far, thank you. That tells me you're just into this nut job as I am. So go ahead and hit that like button if you're enjoying it. And subscribe if you're learning something or want more furniture projects, problem solving tips, and the occasional oops, don't do that moment. I'd love to have you stick around. I did the drawers too. And I had such a hard time with the doors because regardless that I put the hooks to holding them into place, they were so lightweight that the pressure of the air was moving it everywhere, making it so hard to spray. So I ended up covering my whole hand with paint. Once I noticed full coverage on the upside down part, it was dry to the touch. I flipped it to continue on the rest of the piece. Do you know what this is? That's dust. And I was waiting for it to dry, which it didn't. So I didn't. I just fucked up over there. I am going to have to sand that down and repaint because I fucked up. And there is one coat. I feel like I still need to do one coat more. I love the way the bottom looks, but for some reason I don't love the top so much. So yeah, this is where we are right now. I also want to take the opportunity to all of you that spray outside to give me tips, because with the wind and the debris from the trees and the dirt, it was very hard for me. I feel like I sanded more than I wanted to. I ended up doing 3 coats and brought the piece inside the house. For the hardware, I gave it a good clean, a scrub with a sanding sponge, and in here, you're seeing me making sure that it's completely dry before I paint. I finished it with my one and only Rust-Oleum Champagne Bronze, doing immediate light coats. A quick spraying tip for the hinges: I just paint the visible part, and I can tell which part is visible because of the countersink on the screw hole. For the cup pulls, I first spray the interiors and then move to the outside when it was right to the touch. And for the knobs, I did this stand with the skewers and punched them into the ground. So much easier. No need to overthink it, just use what I have. We are in the final stretch here, so there's not a lot to do. So close. So close. It should be illegal to make wallpaper this short. Just 1 more inch. Wouldn't be so hard. Quick tip for applying wallpaper. A new tip, no pun intended, can give just a few uses. So I have this super old box cutter that I keep in handy that I can just snatch off the tip and get perfect cut. But also it's all about the angle of cutting. After you apply the wallpaper in the back too, I attach the hardware, reattach the back first, and then the doors. So before we move to the after, let's get a little reminder of the sporing before. And this is how I left them. After I brought them inside, I noticed too many crevices that didn't have paint and some hazing as well. And regardless that I still took the pictures and listed it, a few days later I went back with some of the paint left that I watered down a little more to not leave any streaks, and I touched up the doors and the drawers where there was really visible hazing. That is why there is 2 different staging props. I think that if I would have been able to remove the legs, I would have stained them. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you want to say that they are still ugly, you can, but be nice, because it's not hard. Do they still look massively produced? Maybe. I leave that to you. But some pieces don't need a lot to make a big change, and that is what I wanted to prove in this video. Sometimes we just need a little bit of paint, love, and some skills. And remember, skills can be learned. See you again in the next video. Bye!